Uh-oh. Jess, are you in labor? How you doing in there?
Oh, she's muted.
Jess, you there?
Yep, it's working now. I keep losing in and out.
Oh, okay. Whew, thought you were off to the hospital.
Alright,
No, not that bad yet, at least. So I'm trying to get some work done. If it works today or not. So
alright. Alright, so with that, so there's two. We'll need two motions here. The first is for a motion to authorize Brittany to sign the agreement with Second Place Beer / the Backyardigans based on the terms discussed in executive session with once the final document is finished by the attorney. Is there a motion to move that forward? Tom, a second. Herb, all in favor? Motion carries, thank you. Now a second motion to authorize Brittany to sign the agreement that will be between both Second Place Beer Co. and Skewed Brewing to transfer the equipment involved in the transaction based on the terms discussed in executive session. Do we have a motion? Herb, a second. Tom, all in favor?
I
Motion carries, thank you. All right, next thing on the agenda is the resolution amending the Roaring Brook Wind pilot and payment schedule.
Okay, do we have Joe back yet? Right, Joe should be getting back on, but I can give, what's it? Yeah, I did. Let's make sure you know one.
There he is.
Okay, so just to bring everybody up to date on the Roaring Brook situation. The pilot with Roaring Brook Wind was approved a handful of years ago, and the way it was written, payments on the pilot would not be made until the tax status date after their commercial operation date. And it was pretty well spelled out in that document that it was a known that this could be a long process. They received their commercial operation date letter in July of 2022, which would mean their first tax status date after that is March of 2023, which means that they wouldn't have to make a payment until January 2024. The table that was provided in that pilot as kind of an example of when payments would be made, had payments starting to be made 2 years or last year, 2021. It's clear in the document that that's an example of how payments would play out, but that the first payment wouldn't be due until the situation we just discussed. Regardless, the taxing jurisdictions had started to budget for this money to come in, some of them in their last fiscal year, all of them in this fiscal year. So they were not impressed that they weren't going to be receiving payments this year, regardless of what the pilot document said. So we, as the IDA, as the administered party of this pilot, kind of went to bat for them and said, you know, this has taken longer than it should have. People see these things spinning. They were spinning well before July. Can we come to some kind of consensus to get a payment, specifically before the schools fiscal year end, which is May, June, to not throw off their budget? Can you work with us on this? And they did agree to doing that. Well, the payment didn't come in January 2024. free, like some of the taxing jurisdictions wanted. They are agreeing to give us a payment this year as the schedule lays out. So what we need to do, paperwork wise is have this amendment to the pilot that we'll all need to sign. That spells out the new term that basically brings everything up a year versus what the verbiage said before. Did I get that right, Joe?
Yeah, you did very well. You know, the mechanic in the existing papers was not untypical. I mean, the focus of these developers and these owners is to make sure that there's enough money being generated by the operation of the entity to pay pilot payments. So the way it was set up was not that unusual. But as Shai indicated, you know, given the special circumstances here of them being up, they look like they're operating, the municipalities having inserted these numbers into their budget, it's really, you know, frankly, very good by the IDA to reach out to the developer to try to accommodate the municipal issues, and frankly, it's a credit to the developer that they were willing to move the schedule up so that these payments start earlier than they were otherwise obligated to start under the documents entered into back in 2019. So this resolution approves that, authorizes Nadine, you know, my partner, to do the amended pilot agreement, and we'll move forward to paper this.
Any questions?
Huge kudos to Shai for having tough conversation with the company, and thanks to Joe and Nadine for your help on this issue.
Yeah, we had offered some suggestions, and again, the papers were not unusual. It's just you know, the circumstance of the entities involved, and really it's you know, we're not done yet, but it certainly appears to be a very good solution for everyone on the county side.
Great job. Yeah, I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned here, particularly by our municipalities, but all in all, you know, again, I don't think we can restate enough, even though it's already been said, that Shai working on this and bringing that forward, and you know, really where we receive a administration fee as part of these pilots, right? And when we're adding you know, when we're showing that there's we're, you know, it's not just a paperwork thing of transferring the pilot payment every year, that there, you know, there's service and that's going along with that. It's definitely a positive thing. So
Yeah, the only thing I'll add is that the next time you read a story negative about IDAs and how they're the reasons for climate change and the war in the Middle East and all sorts of things, this is a clear example where an IDA stepped in and said, hey, you know, we've got a local problem here, can we work this out? And by their actions was able to bring real value to these municipal entities and the school district. And you know, we don't have horns on, we're good guys.
Awesome.
all right, any other questions on this?
Did I answer your questions?
Oh, yes, very much. And I will thank you, and thank you for Terry.
Oh, yes, how many conversations or all kind of emails if you get some Terry.
All right, so I believe we need a roll call vote for this.
That would be our preference. Thank you, Chair.
So do we have a motion to approve? Okay, motion from Tom to move forward with this document. Second by Herb. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, drew a blank there. All right. Roll call. Tom,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
Jessica,
Yeah.
thank you. Joe, yes. Goggin excused, Mackenzie excused, Darlene excused. All right. Motion carries, thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate your help.
Great. Actually, sorry, I just want to make sure we have a quorum, right? We have 4 people in the room, or we have 3 people in the room.
Well,
We have 3 in the room and 1 online.
yeah, is the online,
Yeah, that's an issue, unfortunately. Because,
Yes, you're right.
yep,
all
We
right.
need quorum in the room.
yeah, we need a quorum in the room, unfortunately. But the remote vote counts if we have a quorum in the room.
Oh.
Sorry, I missed this at the beginning here. I wasn't,
Yeah, we did too.
Yeah, it was I had two last minute medical issues that prevented that from happening.
I mean, Jessica's practically in labor. Won't the state just get off on that one?
Level, though. I'm in level. I can swing down if I have to.
I mean, we could ratify it the next month. I mean, in the meantime, we can continue working on the papers and we can just have it approved at the next meeting. I don't think this particular matter is is time sensitive.
I mean, we can schedule a special meeting in 2 weeks. Put out public, we can do that. That's no problem.
Okay,
I don't think I will be available in 2 weeks is my only issue. I mean, I am in Laval. I'm just at my uncle's office. I can swing down, which would give us the quorum in person. Just don't look at me. But
I mean, Jess, that is totally up to you. And
Well, I mean, we have Goggin and Darlene and Mackenzie potentially available at a later date. It's the unexpected circumstances today, so that's up to you, Jess. But we can find a date in the next couple weeks and get this resolved. So.
Joe, we'll keep you posted if Jess comes in person. Or if we need to reschedule in 2 weeks.
that's A-okay, not a problem.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate your time.
All good. You all have a good day. Take care
Yeah.
now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And so with that on hold, I guess, then we can move on to with the agenda and see what we get happens here. So executive director's report.
Sorry, my mind is, what do you guys?
okay, I will start swinging down. I'm in Laval, so it won't take me very long. And then we can run through it.
All right.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Executive Director's Report. We've had a busy month per usual. Just want to highlight, we've really taken off on a lot of our property initiatives. So Cheyenne and I presented at the Board of Legislators Finance and Rules Committee this month on property redevelopment and how the LCDC can partner with the county. Also, tomorrow is our deadline for the vacant property revitalization applications, round 1. We have 3 or 4 already submitted.
It's like 5 now.
5.
6 meeting, yeah.
And we expect definitely a few more by tomorrow. So that'll be a great committee meeting to review those applications. We also received in the Glenfield School Marketing, we did receive 1 proposal that the committee is going to be reviewing next week. And so we will know the outcome of how we're going to proceed with that school, hopefully after next week. See, what else did we do this month? As another partnership with the chamber, we went through a tourism strategic planning session with Christy Andrus-Nakano to help identify under the merger the role of the director of tourism, aka Kristen's new role, and how do we just have a path forward for tourism. And it was a really, really great couple sessions, and we're starting to integrate that plan into our Naturally Lewis strategic plan, which is really cool to see. And then lastly, we launched registration for our 2nd annual Economic Development Conference coming up on May 17th. Would highly encourage everyone to attend. And it's going to be a great day of really cool sessions, inspirational sessions, some educational sessions. So we're really excited for that. Any other questions on my report?
Are there any other proposals for the Glenfield School, just the one?
We asked there were 3 letters of interest submitted, and then we asked all 3 of them to submit full proposals, and we received 1.
Okay, are you expecting others, or am I allowed to ask that question, or?
The deadline has passed.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, I saw about April 13th in there, and I thought maybe that was the deadline, sorry.
The committee will meet to review on April 13th.
Any questions? It was mentioned in there too, but I'll just mention that, another area the agency's been involved is with this whole biomass cluster at Fort Drum, and there was just an article in the paper yesterday about it again, in terms of this state's designation of renewable energy and how that impacts the biomass facility. So it appears still far from being resolved, but I just wanted to acknowledge Brittany and the team's active involvement in that.
Yeah, I did hear on the news this morning that there might be a law passed in the budget that would accept biomass as renewable energy.
Well, yeah, it basically is a loophole that would suggest that, or put it in that if it was in operation as of the end of 2022, it would be kind of grandfathered in, and but not allowing new biomass facilities, it looked like, but there's still a lot of question marks on the timing of it, if it goes through, and if the Public Service Commission would, it would give the Public Service Commission the ability to grant the renewable energy credits, but it doesn't guarantee that they would. So,
Right.
So still a lot of moving parts, but I just, again, just wanted to acknowledge our active role in trying to work with the county and the logging industry on this issue. So
Nothing like decisions being made at the 11th hour.
this is like the 13th hour.
Yeah, 13th.
Since they technically started closing down on March 31st. So.
Right.
On that sort of note, I understand that the state is again trying to do away with pilots, is that?
So, the renewable energy assessment calculator that came about last year, like it was snuck through the budget last year. There was that lawsuit against New York State, there was a stay on it. Well, now there's like a loophole around that court case to put it in the budget again.
Right,
Yeah, we met with Mark Walsick last Friday in Watertown. It was a really great meeting with some of the towns in the county. And basically, if it goes through, there's still so many questions on what would happen, but yeah, we're unsure if the IDA would even be doing renewable energy pilots if it were to pass, but we're told that if it does pass, there's just gonna continue to be more lawsuits against New York State.
So as of yesterday, it was out of 2 House budgets, but was thought to be just a bargaining chip. That would probably come back in, but that's probably all changed again today, so. We'll see.
And likely have a larger impact on some of our existing wind projects than solar. I mean, it will impact solar too, but I think more concerning is the wind projects.
Right.
And there was a good article in the paper on that too, if you want to get the details.
I attended the assessors association dinner last night and had some conversations with them about it. And just had some asks of them to begin with and to understand their process and how it feeds our process. And so really good conversations coming out of it. See what we have to deal with when it happens.
Right. Anything else? Thank you, Brittany, for the update. Any other questions for Brittany or anything else to add? Were there any correspondence?
No.
Okay. All right, new business. First thing is the annual report.
Yes, so I just want to acknowledge that we completed our 2022 annual report, and if you want a paper copy, I have it here. But just want to acknowledge all the great work that was accomplished last year. Just some really cool stuff happening and really looking forward to what we have going on now and what we're planning for the future and the merger and just the synergies. Just really great collaborations are happening across the community. I want to use like Harrisville as an example of great things that are happening because of partnerships. You know, with the community bank leaving Harrisville and potential for Northern to come in, there's been a huge partnership to put together that proposal. We have a meeting with Northern today. They might get daycare at their school. That was a great outcome because of partnerships and just some of the downtown revitalization efforts. So some great things happening across all communities in Lewis County. So I have paper copies if you want to take one home.
Well, yeah, well, great, thank you. Property updates.
Yeah, the color red building is the building that our office is in. And we've had this is the lease that we're in right now. We've had the option to purchase the building since we moved in there. And we've kind of sat on it. We've kind of hoped that the landlord would maybe be motivated to do something for us, or that a developer might step in and kind of build out the upstairs and shore up the structural issues that we know are there. But as staff, and we talked about it at finance committee, in a bit of detail, I think we're ready to move forward on purchasing the building ourselves and making it eligible for grants, at least putting us in a position to be able to start the work on the building and hopefully build out that vision of having co-working space and small offices for people to rent, and kind of practicing what we preach. especially with some of the other downtown buildings starting to looks pretty nice next to us and maybe holding ours up, I don't know. So we have reached out for an appraisal of the building. We need that in order to move forward regardless of the price. We have an option to purchase it for, in our lease, we need to have that appraisal to justify that we pay fair market value. So the finance committee had wanted to move the idea forward to the full board, and that's where we're at. We can't really make a motion to purchase it, but it's kind of just an update that we're researching.
Question, how much space do you think you could generate in the upstairs if it was?
I don't know how many square feet that is upstairs.
There's two full floor, or there's a,
Is to the third
the,
floor?
there's a partial third, a full, the second floor is the same size as the first floor. The third floor is a little smaller.
God bless you.
Not too bad yet.
Oh my boy.
Hey. Can we get Joe back?
Joe doesn't need to be on.
Oh, he doesn't, okay.
No, but we should.
Redo
We
it.
should, I mean, I don't think we need to go into great detail on redoing the other ones, but acknowledge that Jess is now in the room and that the motions that were made prior were remaking basically as a slate.
Continue the roll call.
Right, so we paused on the resolution amending the Roaring Brook agreement for the roll call vote. Jessica is here in person now. So with that, we can continue where we left off, right? So
I also apologize, I should have caught on to that, and it didn't even occur to me. I know the quorum rule in my head, but in reality, it just didn't.
well, no, I don't think it did for any of us because
Either, obviously.
it was just kind of an unexpected, I mean, Goggin had a last minute unavoidable thing too, so we were expecting to have a bigger group today, so all right, so can we get so the resolution amending Roaring Brook as shared now that Jessica's here in person, do we what is your vote on that?
Yeah.
Yes, all right. So
She came up late, it was like.
I believe. So
We should go back to the second place.
we will, yeah, I just wanted to finish that one out. So I believe now we have we've addressed the resolution for amending Roaring Brook with the board members we have present. So yeah, now we need to go back. As a reminder, we made two separate motions regarding the brewery. Both cases were to authorize Brittany to make to sign the documents with the updates discussed in executive session. So the first one was the with Second Place Beer Co. or the Backyardigans is the name file. So do we have a we'll redo the motion, I guess. We have a motion to authorize Brittany to sign those documents once the amendments are made. Herb. Second. Tom, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries, thank you. All right. The second one was related to the agreement with related to the brewing equipment and the building, and that's agreement between that Second Place Beer Co. and Skew Brewing, which is has been the tenant of the building. So it's an agreement between the three entities to transfer the assets and resolve the financial resolve the financial, I'm having some trouble in here. The
Financial obligations.
financial obligations, that's the word I was looking for. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Her second? Jessica? All in favor?
Alright.
All right.
Motion carries, thank you. All right,
Do we need to do the other, like, the minutes?
Technically, yes, right there, maybe just do it as all one.
Okay.
Just minutes.
Minutes, financials. This is like,
all right, so, making sure the, again, we discussed the minutes that were shared last week from our March meeting. Any questions or edits or additions there? Motion to approve.
You can do minutes and financial report in one.
Oh, all right, minutes and accept the minutes and the financial report as presented by Cheyenne. Motion. Her second, Jessica, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Kaylee, into minutes.
Motion carried. All right.
I hope, I'm sure it's the translator.
I think we addressed the,
Arts and restoration.
Okay, so I guess, I said I wanted to formalize with Tuckhill Artists and Roasters. Months and months ago, they had let me know that they weren't going to take advantage of the pilot that we had approved for them. And I just had them formalized via email that you see attached, that they also weren't going to go forward with the sales tax exemption and the mortgage recording tax exemption. That was all kind of bundled into that, just for our records, have it in our minutes that, so that we can close that out, and when we report to the state, we can report that that one's not moving forward. Okay, so no action needed, just informational item.
all right. Do we want to take a minute for the Harrisville update or? Just out of respect for Jessica.
So at our finance committee meeting, so I did mention earlier, we discussed in finance committee, community bank is leaving Harrisville. So the community has been working hard to bring in another bank. There's a concern about the community bank building, and could that be a space for a future bank, Northern, hopefully, or just ensuring that the end use is good, like, so the finance committee recommended that we move forward with an appraisal on that building so that when it becomes publicly available, we can submit the first bid to purchase that building. But of course, we need to do that appraisal first. And you know, if it's something that future bank is interested in leasing from us, we would consider that option first. But if not, just making sure that a good business is going into that building, either buying it from the IDA, or we can certainly do the lease or lease for the future business. So
Isn't there an issue with Northern that they can't have municipality accounts or something like that?
right now, yes, yeah, we're actually meeting with them later today. We worked to put together a whole proposal for them, but you know, if and when they do accept, if they accept, you know, the town is willing to. And the school.
Yeah, we have commitments from the municipalities, so.
So we will move forward with an appraisal on that. I think the earliest we can even get in there is May. So just another way for us to be involved in our communities and property development.
That's Robert Justice. All right, thanks for the updates. Anything else for the,
And also, I know I heard you guys talking about the meeting we had with the senator and the assemblyman. Kevin, I don't know if this would have any interest with you. I ended up having a Zoom meeting with the attorney that was involved in that Schoharie County case. I believe it was a Dylan Harris or something like that. And so until the budget passes, we just don't know where to go with it. But if the budget passes, and they do still have the exemption in there, then Lewis County has basically pledged 10,000 to reimburse individual taxpayers to join some type of lawsuit with it. But right now, it sounds like it's still just Lewis County and Schoharie County that are even involved. So I don't know why you think there's other green counties out there that would get involved, but right now it sounds like it's still just the two.
Alright. Any other? Alright, if there's nothing else, we'll take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Herb, second. Don, all in favor? Bye.